Hey, it's Lauren with Bargain Bead Box, and I am so excited today to kind of walk through the June Tranquil Tides collection with you and just talk about the curation process and take a closer look at each of the items that I've chosen to include. So, starting off, our gemstone pendant for this month is a blue spot jasper and brass teardrop, and I just loved the waves on this piece. They made me think of the ocean. And most importantly, the blue spot jasper matched this guy. So this is technically item number 3 in the box, our lamprey glass octopus bead. But honestly, this is the bead that started it all. I fell in love with this little octopus. We had a couple come in at the store in a closeout lot. And I immediately reached out to the factory and was like, hey, how many more of those do you have? And is there a chance that it's enough for me to use in this box? And they had enough. I was very happy. They are just adorable, so cute. Each one has its own little charm. It's so unique and handmade. I love, of course, that you actually have 8 legs. It always bothers me when an octopus piece doesn't. And just the dotted, swirled, handmade lampwork glass. So cute. And of course, the little eyes. So I immediately thought blue spot jasper when I saw this little guy, because obviously the spots, and we haven't really done blue spot jasper before. So I always try to do a strand of 8mm gemstone beads. It's just a great size to work with. So of course we did that in blue spot jasper this month. And I'm kind of skipping around. That's item number 4. Item number 2 is one of the second pieces. Actually, I think it was the second piece that I fell in love with. These little starfish. And I just knew this guy needed some little starfish friends. I love the peach and the blue together. That's kind of where this color scheme started, was these pieces here. And I think these are so cute. They honestly look like candy to me, which sadly they are not. Do not eat them, please. But just the finish on them. So these are a white chalcedony. Technically, they are a lash and agate from Mongolia. They have been color enhanced to make this super pretty peach color. And each one is individually created, so the carving may differ slightly, but they're very, very cute. All right, so I wanted to pull in some other gemstones, and Sodalite was an obvious pick with this color scheme, because again, you have those whites and blues, kind of a more marbled than spotted pattern, but kind of it just still looks like tossing waves to me, or like the gentle foam on top of the sea. So we went with these little Hishi beads. It's a 7-inch strand in a 4x2mm size. And I just think they're so cute. Again, I tried to mix it up, have some 10mm, some 4mm, some 6mm beads in every box. And these I just thought were so cute. So along those lines, here we have some 10mm beads. This agate I just love because it pulls in a little bit of that brown peach tone, but then you have this great cornflower blue. It does look very tranquil to me, very calm waters, and some great swirled patterns occasionally as well. Let me move all this down. I'm starting a little bit high up there, but lots of gorgeous blue tones there. All right. So next up, this one I touched on in our sneak peek video, but this is probably the biggest story of the whole thing. So I was looking for some peach moonstone, and I was talking with my favorite lapidary partner, because I was thinking specifically 6mm. Again, I like to have some 4, some 6, some 8, some 10mm in each box. And they were like, peach moonstone, well, yeah, I think we can do that for you. And kind of an interesting tone, but I just figured, oh, maybe they don't have a lot of the rough in. They're like, we'll look into it and we'll get back to you. And so they did get back to me, and they were like, yeah, we can do that. We can make that happen for you. And I'm like, great, thanks. So it wasn't until after they sent me pictures of the finished batch that it occurred to me that they call peach moonstone sunstone at that lapidary. So what they actually did for me was they took this rainbow moonstone, which is clear to white, and it's got some sparkly bits of like iridescence here and there, and they dyed it nicely peach for me, which honestly, it wasn't what I was expecting, and I was like, oh, I see how you got there. But I actually love it. I love the color. It's perfect. It looks really nice, and it also has, again, just that little bit of iridescence here and there, which is a lot of fun. So that's how these dyed peach rainbow moonstone beads came to be. It's a unique piece. I haven't seen that happen before. The factory had never made them before. They did it specially for me, and I am actually kind of thrilled with how they came out. So that was one of those things. Sometimes curation just doesn't go as planned. Sometimes things happen, miscommunications happen, language barriers happen, but you know what? I actually love how it all came together. And they actually, because of the confusion, we were able to throw in some extra free findings as well, which we'll talk about at the end there. All right, so next up, we have these super pretty blue spot jasper melons, and these are super fun. I loved the shape. I love the gentle corrugation there. I honestly fell in love with these. They were not quite as I didn't get quite the closeout bargain on them that I did on some of the other pieces. They were a little more expensive, but I threw them in anyway. I had to have them, honestly. They're just so cool, and I like having some different shaped gemstones to work with. So yeah, slightly went over budget with them, but you know what? I'm happy with how it came together, and some things are just worth the extra money. So really liked those. All right, next up, we have these carved synthetic coral shell beads. So these are really fun shapes. I love the detail there. The synthetic coral is typically made with like powdered shell and resin. And I love the shape here. I like the way that it's drilled. And I also really, really like that you got this bright, vivid color. It just brings some super bright coral pink to this palette, which I love. I think it's super, super fun to work with. Kind of brightens the whole thing up a little bit. And the shell shape is a lot of fun too. All right, so next up we have these glass fish beads. And honestly, our octopus just needed some friends. So we've got 10 pieces of them. I love the little scale texture. It's super fun. Little blue-green iris color I like too with this palette. And they just bring a little bit of whimsy. And honestly, they're just super cute. I have a weakness for animal beads of like any variety. And these just made me happy. So I grabbed them. All right. Up next, we have 4x3mm crystal facet rondelle beads in this matte pink champagne. And I love this color. Again, it just kind of brings in that peach tone I'm really looking for. Looks beautiful with the moonstone, and really just softens the palette, pulls in the starfish too. So I really like those. I always try to do some kind of small 4mm crystal. And then we have some 6mm crystal rondelles too, because I am obsessed with this steel blue shimmer color. I think it's so, so pretty with the blue spot jasper in this box. And then I also did 20 pieces of these 8mm crystal round beads, and they have that great magma AB plating. So lots of fun orange color. Kind of goes with the moonstone, and again, just brings some brightness into, isn't a gloomy ocean. This is a bright, colorful, happy ocean. Almost feels like a sunset to me. I've had such a hard time picking out a name for the box this month. Sometimes when I make the theme, I know what the name is going to be right away. Other times I'm just like, oh, it's a cute octopus and his friends, and now what do I call that? So, and yeah, it has some sunset vibes to me too. So we were like twilight tides, or does that have too many vampire overtones? So anyway, so we went with Tranquil, but I do like the dusky orange-red colors as well. All right, more fun little ocean friends. These charms, oh my gosh, they're so cute, and they're such nice quality. I was so impressed with them because they're double-sided, which I love in a charm, and just so cute. These little seahorses. And they are lead-free, nickel-free, cadmium-free. I always do my best. If there is a nickel-free option available, I will always take it. because I have some metal allergies and I want as many of our members as possible to be able to enjoy these things. So we also have 4 little sea turtles, and they're so cute, little 3D sea turtles. I just love these guys too. And again, more friends for the octopus. And just so fun. All right, I always put a spacer bead of some kind in because I just feel like it opens up so many options with the box. And in this case, I chose this little swirly spiral shape because it makes me think of a seashell or a ocean wave. And I think it looks cute with the wavy filigree style motif on our little blue spot Jasper teardrop too. So always try to include, like I said, just some kind of metal piece there. And I love antique copper. I think that's it might be my favorite metal. We do mix it up a lot because I realize everyone has different favorites. And certain color palettes and themes just look better with different metal tones. And this month, copper was just the obvious choice. All right. We also have some swirled links. Again, just really pulling in that focal. Filling up my mat here. But I love the swirls. The little dots. Just so fun. Wanted to give some kind of like elegant options as well. Sometimes I like the whimsical accents and I love having like the little octopus and things, but I do recognize some people love whimsical, some people don't. So I'm trying always to create a collection that there'll be something for everyone. Like even if the fish and the seahorses aren't your thing, there's a lot of beads in here, and a lot of more classic elements that you can take that direction if you'd rather. All right, these bead caps. I'll be honest, I picked this cap out for exactly one reason, and that is because I thought it would make a cute hat for my octopus. I mean, how can you say no to that? It's got swirls on it that go well with our spacer beads here, but it's an octopus hat first and foremost. I am not going to lie to you. And I will be using it as such. So, you can do what you want with it. Put it on the 8mm beads or anything you want to do with it. But yeah, just telling you, that octopus needed a little curlicue, wavy, spiral patterned hat. So I made it happen. I love bead caps, honestly. I'm being a bit facetious here. But yes, I really did want it to be an octopus hat. But also, I like caps. I think they create lots of options and look so classy. I think they're one of those things that can just really take a piece to the next level of professionalism. Something about having more metal elements like throughout the design to me makes it look very finished in a way that not having the bead caps just doesn't quite accomplish to me. But that's my own personal obsession, I guess. I do love caps. All right. So next up is our chain. Sorry, I'm trying to get it presentable here and not have it tangle up. Here we go. Now this is such a pretty pattern, and I've heard it said both Lumicina, that's usually the Americanized version, or Lumicina, that's the traditional Italian pronunciation, I believe. And it actually means snail, which I thought was kind of fun for this, almost like a sea snail. You've got little swirly patterns, just super nice. Again, this is about 1 meter, which is what we usually do in the box. That's about 3.2 feet, slightly more than a yard. I want you to have enough chain for hopefully multiple pieces, enough chain to, do what you want with it. So, and this is just a really cute chain. You may occasionally find some rice husk pieces that need to be pulled out. This is a byproduct of the manufacturing process. It helps absorb and just clean up the piece, absorb moisture and such. So it's a completely natural and entirely harmless thing, but they do sometimes, in this antique copper, they used to make antique copper and antique bronze pieces, and you will sometimes see them in the factory bags. They do their best to clean most of them out, but it's never a big deal. You can just throw them away. And they're not seeds. You don't have to worry about that. It's just a hole around a rice kernel. All right, so we have some extra findings. Again, the whole thing with the peach moonstone, I was able to fit a couple more findings in the budget, and I wanted to do earring findings and head pins because I feel like these are pretty foundational. I want to be able to get this box and just like start designing, and these will hopefully help you do that. So they are lead-free, nickel-free, and cadmium-free, both of them, and picked 40 millimeter head pins. Every now and then, because the manufacturing process, one will arrive kind of bent. You can unbend it usually pretty easily. And you get about 30 pieces in the 5-gram bag. And then you have 20 pieces of these just classic ball and coil fish hook ear wires. Just very, very classic. All right, and I hope those are helpful. Findings are one of the more controversial things. Some people are like, yes, send me all the findings. Some people are like, I don't need findings. Spend the budget on the beads. So when I do include them, I generally include them as a bonus. They're not part of our typical budget. So hopefully that's the best of both worlds. But especially with metals like copper that are kind of off the beaten path, you don't see much at like the craft store, etc. I want you to be able to have some things to work with because I know it can be a little harder to find. And I just realized I forgot our clasps. So this is, we always have some kind of clasp. This is a simple, but one of my favorite, just magnetic rounds. I just really like those. They're easy to work with. And you get 2 of them in this box. All right. So that is everything that we included in our Tranquil Tides collection for June 2025. I had a blast putting this one together. Even if there were a few surprises along the way, I'm actually really thrilled with how it all came together, and I hope you enjoy it too. Thank you so much to all of our members. Without the bulk purchasing power that comes from your membership, there is no way we'd be able to send all this stuff over a $90 MSRP for your membership price. So if you are a member, you got everything shown here for $22.99, including shipping in the USA. Shipping is free for members in America. And if you are not a member and you were to sign up now, you wouldn't start with this box. You would start with July. So we ship on the 10th of each month. So you have to sign up by the 9th of the month to get each month's shipment. So if you sign up now, you start with July shipment. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to show you a sneak peek of that here soon. But in the meantime, if you love this collection and you're sad that you missed it, we will have some extras available at our sister store, beadboxbargains.com. The cost is higher than our members' cost, but it is also with free shipping in the USA. So they'll be available for $32.99. At the sister store. Still a great deal for over $90 manufacturer suggested retail price. So, thank you all so much again for making this possible. Couldn't do this without you. And I love every month putting the box together. It's one of my favorite things to do. I hope you have an absolutely beautiful weekend. And I hope that you've enjoyed this look behind the beads. Thanks so much, y'all. Would love to hear what your favorite parts of this box were. And just, any comments you have, what kind of stuff you'd like to see in future boxes. That's always helpful. I always appreciate your feedback. Feel free to like, comment, and share. And if you're not already a YouTube subscriber, just feel free to click that subscribe button. We'll have some tutorials and sneak peeks and other fun things coming up for you soon. As always, happy beading.